This is a homework help video for the timeline activity, the ancient Mesopotamia timeline. So you can hear my cat sneezing. So civilization timeline of Mesopotamia. It says, use your knowledge of finding sources to write the time period each civilization existed. After, you'll review your findings together as a class. So if you're absent for this class, you'll see in the video. Okay. Oop, see, the answers right there. Okay, let's start with this. So you'll be going to your Google Classroom, Mesopotamia Civilization Timeline. And there's 2 pages. So the first page is this, Mesopotamia Timeline Research. So you're going to use your knowledge of finding sources to write the time period of each civilization. I did 2 for you. So the Assyrians. So you're just going to search, when did they exist? Okay, so the Assyrians. When did the Assyrian Empire exist? So 900, 600 BCE. Copy and paste. Okay. You're going to go down the whole line here. Do every single one. I'll do another one for you. When did the Sumerians exist? Boom. So these are the answers. So look at that. I'm doing it for you. I'm just happy you're watching the homework help videos. When did the It's established 38. When did it end? Let's see. We know when it was established. When did it end? Abandoned. 500. Okay, when did the Babylonians exist? Okay. Boom. First part's done. Now you have to write a minimum of 2 to 3 sentences. I know, I'm the worst. Looking at the time periods, these civilizations, oh my gosh. Looking at the time periods these civilizations existed, do you think these civilizations came in contact with each other? Do you think the cultures of these civilizations influenced each other? So look, the and the Urks existed. But also look, wait, we've got BCE and we've got BC. So this is the part in the lesson I'll pull up on the slides. BC, BCE. So we need to convert them all to the same, don't we? You can make these BC. This is timeline review. We did timelines at the beginning of the year, if you remember. Right? Because there's the scientific way. And there's the other way. There's the BC and AD, or the BCE or CE, remember? Before Christ, Anno Domini. Before Common Era. So either one, but we're going to do the same. We want them all be the same, right? So we can tell the time period. So these 2, to answer the question, Do you think these civilizations came in contact with each other? We know the Ur and the Uruk did, or they exist around the same time. We know that the Sumerians existed around these times. Yeah, isn't there overlap pretty much everywhere? Except for the Syrians, it's very short. So the Syrians came in contact with the Urs, but the Sumerians ended well before the Syrians existed. Came in contact with the Babylonians, but the Uruks and the Akkadians, those empires ended before this existed, right? Because the numbers get smaller on this side of the timeline. So this is 900 BC to 600 BC. That's around here. That's closer to modern day time. But the Sumerians were 4100. So they were all the way over here. That's where this is. So the Sumerians are much older. They died, or the empire died around 17. Since the Assyrians are around here, they didn't come into contact with each other. But the rest of them, for the most part, did. So do you think these cultures, these civilizations influenced each other? You need to write a minimum of 2 to 3 complete sentences and explain your thinking. All right, so that's the first part. So that was this guy right here. Now here's the second part. Now you're gonna do the timeline. And see, I have the answers for you right here as well. I'm just handing it to you, aren't I? Civilization timeline in Mesopotamia. Now that you have the time period of each civilization, use your information to label the start and end of each civilization. You can use different colors when labeling to help you tell the difference between the civilizations. So that's this part right here. Now you're gonna make a timeline. Do it with you. See, I've got these little, I've got the dates written out for you, the empires written out. I guess I already did the Uruks and Akkadians for you. That's silly of me. I did 2 for you. I don't need that either. Okay, so these are the 4 that you need to put on there. So we know the Sumerians, 41, 1750, right? So these you can just drag. Make sure you see those, you see the 4 little arrows? Hover it around the blue box to move it. So we know from our research, this is when the Sumerians existed. You're just going to move these boxes. I typed it up for you. And then you can change the colors if you want. So 4100s right about there. Let's do a smaller one. You can adjust them too. I prepped them ahead of time for you. So that's the Sumerians. You can move this up more if you want. I mean, I designed this lesson to be on a piece of paper in class, but you know how the world is right now with all of our remote days. Okay, let's do another one. Babylonians. Those match up. That's 18. Somewhere around here. That's not very big. It's not a very big time period, is it? Right, because 18 to 1500, so that's probably a smaller one. All right, Babylonians, boom, just 2 more to go. The Ur was 38. That's there. And there's only one left. It's the Syrians. Because the Syrians is short, so that's probably these guys right there. That guy right there. The was longer, really long. 38 to 500. Yep, that's where that fits. Let's move this over. Let's give our labels room for the other one. Okay, so the Remember, use the 4 little arrows and click the blue box to move it. You should remember this stuff from your slideshow presentation, though. You should know how to do this. Okay, that's all that's left is the Syrians. So 900 to 600, about there, right around there-ish. Let's do, yeah, that looks about right. As long as it's roughly near it. Boom, done. Did it for you. You just gotta watch this video. So just to review, and I have the slides attached here. You'll see your homework help video here. All you gotta do, this part 1 is the research. Look, I gave you the answers. Look at that. You just need to type out 2 to 3 sentences. Looking at the time periods these civilizations existed, do you think these civilizations came in contact with each other? Do you think the cultures of these civilizations influenced each other? Explain your thinking in 2 to 3 sentences. And then you do the timeline. That guy, boom. So yours should look like that. You can change the colors of things if you want. You can mess with it as long as, you know, it looks like this. Your labeling is correct. All that stuff. Okay. Message me or Mrs. Staffen if you have any questions, but hopefully that should help.